Hey, what's your name?
Mike Coffey.
Mike, what's your name on the board?
El Kabong.
Oh my God!
So now everybody's shut this interview off, but we'll continue anyway.
You have a chance to show your human side.
I have a human side?
All right,
It's somewhere around here. I don't know where it is.
What's your favorite Notre Dame memory?
My favorite Notre Dame memory would have to be my sophomore year in 1988. 31-30 Notre Dame versus Miami. It was the atmosphere of the week leading up to the game itself, and being in the band, as many of you know, just trying to get out of the stadium afterwards with a massive humanity around us. That to me is what Notre Dame football is, and that is why my standards for Notre Dame football are so high.
Yeah, as they should be.
Absolutely.
What's your worst Notre Dame memory?
My worst Notre Dame memory was a few years later, my wife's senior year in 1993, sitting in the stands watching David What's-His-Name kick that field goal for BC.
That was a low point for many of us, I have to admit. What's your favorite thing about ISD?
My favorite thing about ISD is Mike Frank. I know we make jokes about how he's the best in the business, but I'm here to tell you folks, he really is. Mike's attitude is about Notre Dame and what makes Notre Dame great, as opposed to what makes his site great or what makes him money or anything like that. Mike has a love for Notre Dame that would be there whether he was running a website or not. So, which is why we at ND Nation support him, and now I think everybody at ISD should support him.
Give you 30 seconds. Tell us about ND Nation and why it gets a bad rap.
ND Nation gets a bad rep, and some of it is probably deserved. We're a little bit harsh. The site started back in the day with a bunch of people who knew each other, and as we bring people in, there's an assumption level that people still know each other as well. I know some people think we can be negative. Yes, I'll admit that. But a lot of us are alumni who have been watching Notre Dame for a long, long time. And as I said, we hold Notre Dame to a very high standard. While we certainly realize that atmospheres are different, playing fields are different, Notre Dame has it within itself to still excel on those playing fields if it chooses to be, and it bothers us sometimes when we feel it chooses not to be.
Well, and isn't it true that negativity is sometimes interpreted as being anti-Notre Dame, and of course that's quite the contrary. It's true.
The thing is, the only thing about it that bothers me is that some people think that we enjoy being angry about things that happen in Notre Dame. Nothing cuts at my soul deeper than Notre Dame losing in any sport. Well, football and men's basketball especially. But where we are coming from is a knowledge that, putting my get off my lawn old man hat on, back in the day, Notre Dame had a level of standard. We want Notre Dame to try to achieve that level of standard, even, as I said, keeping in mind the fact that things are a little bit different. Notre Dame can still, by doing the best they can, do better than they're doing today. And while I certainly don't enjoy pointing that out, I look forward to the day when I don't need to point that out, which is really what we're striving for.
Excellent point. Since I've got this opportunity, give me your 2 cents on the Notre Dame basketball program. Where is it? Where should it be? And what's going to happen?
It needs to be better than it is. Everybody gets on my case about being a Mike Bray apologist. The problem is, there are things about basketball that Notre Dame can control and things that they can't. The things that they can't control are working against them very, very strongly, and I've talked about them ad nauseum. But in order to overcome those things, Notre Dame needs to be doing the things they can control better than they possibly can do. They need to be doing those things at 100% to maximize the possibility that they're going to do well in the things that they can. So when they don't do the things that they can do at 100%, it really, really bothers me. If replacing Mike Bray would improve the Notre Dame basketball program, I'd pull for it in an instant, but I don't think that it necessarily will, so which is why I don't push for it. You need to build a foundation before you can build a house, and that's what I want them to do.
Fantastic. What's going to happen in 2014 football season?
I think that Notre Dame's going to make the playoff. I think they are going to lose one game at most. I think they're going to have a very good year. As I'm not the biggest Brian Kelly fan personally, but I don't have to be a personal fan of his to think that Notre Dame's going to do well, and I think they've got the personnel, they've got the experience. I expect them to lose one game at most during the regular season, so that's what I think is going to happen.
Any parting words?
Go Irish.
Thanks, Mike.